I mean, the one thing I want to do is try and be one of them. I mean, we're trying to pick it up. We plan on having two guys go out this year, two guys go out next year. We're gonna keep that going, kind of like how Chris and Garrett are doing right now.
Okay, and did you watch Jackson's performance in the Rose Bowl, and just what were your impressions of that?
Man, that's like a receiver's dream. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, could have been 4, could have been 400 yards. I mean, that's anything a receiver can ask for. So,
what were your impressions of Marvin's performance? Because it was his first start with guys like Chris and Garrett out, and just him being a true freshman.
I already knew Marvin was going to do his thing. Marvin is a freak of nature. So, I mean, I already knew he was going to go out there and do what he had to do.
Jackson came in pretty polished when it came to running routes. You seem to be a little bit on that same trajectory. What can you take from him, the way he's, risen through just 2 years to get to, for you to get to that point, not just in 2 years, but maybe this year?
The one thing I can do is just learn from him. I mean, we come out here, we catch often with CJ and all them. So, I mean, learning from him, Mech, Marv, all these different people. The one thing I can do is take from them and just learn as much as I can.
Kyion, CJ mentioned that he felt that you were a little lowly rated. Is that something that you pay attention to or use as motivation?
I mean, I mainly use it as motivation simply because, like, I know how good I can be, and I don't really look at that much because ratings don't really show who you are. And so, I mean, just being able to come here, that shows a lot.
Appreciate it. What have your interactions with Devin been like? Because he's mentioned, he's getting familiar with, his new teammates and whatnot. Just what are your impressions of him?
Oh, Devin's a great quarterback. He throws some great balls. Me and him have been catching almost every other day. So, I mean, Devin's a great person. I mean, he's fun to be around. What more can you ask for?
What makes Ryan Hartline so appealing to the best wide receivers in the country?
His teachings. Everyone tells you about his teachings. I've been with Johnny Dixon, Paris Campbell, all these different people, and they've always told me about how great of a teacher he is, how great of a coach he is. I mean, the way he is during recruitment is the way he is now. He doesn't change. So.
We've heard about C.J. Stroud's connection with Jackson's Big Club. Is that a goal between you and Devin to develop that sort of energy coming into the same time?
Oh, that's for sure. That's a must.
What is kind of sort of the impression you want to make going into your first year? What do you want Buckeye Nation to know about Kyion Grayes?
Well, really, I just want them to know that I'm a very hard-working kid, and I mean, great person on and off the field, no matter what the situation is.
You came
Self-assuredness to come to the receiver room here. There's a confidence necessary for entry. Where does that come from for you? And when you see the group that has come through here the last few years, and they recruited you, they wanted you to be a part of it, how has that boosted your self-belief?
I mean, really, just coming from my high school, they taught me a lot about being accountable, and like, no matter how hard I would play, if I do something wrong, maybe it's a little thing, I fall behind the line, just off the ball when I'm supposed to be on, like just simple stuff, they take me out. And that's made me learn how to compete and make sure I do everything right, especially the little things. So, I mean, that's boosted my confidence a lot.
I know it's very early, but just your general impressions of the Ryan Day offense. How would you, I know it's early, but how would you describe the Ryan Day offense?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I've only learned the formation so far, but from what I'm hearing, it's crazy.
Later that, when you watch the Rose Bowl, what went through your mind?
That was just, man, watching CJ fling that thing around, there was nothing more you could ask for.
Then having a receiver catch 8 miles worth of passes.
I just can't even, I just see myself doing that. I just can't wait to be able to do that.
Is there an element that's already begun with the guys coming back? Obviously, you're still getting into quarterbacks, but is there an element that's already begun of study, of trying to figure out what makes this group unique?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, every day we come out and catch, I'll be out here with Meg, Marv. I'm just watching them, seeing how they've developed from their freshman year to now, and, like, I'm trying to learn from them and try and figure out how Coach Hart teaches his stuff and how it's different.
How is it?
I mean, it's just little things, like maybe getting out of your breaks in 3 steps instead of 4 or 5. It's mainly just the little things in routes, misdirection, head movement, stuff like that.
Everybody sees CJ throwing to Jackson. They see Garrett and Chris getting ready to be first-round picks. When you look at guys like Emeka, who can play anywhere, chose to come here and get developed and probably not see the field a lot as a freshman. Like, I don't know, what are your impressions of Emeka and the way he's developing so far?
Oh, Emeka, me and him have been lifting together almost every day. And the one thing he does, he always pushes me, and I always try to push him. And that dude is, when it comes down to it, you're always going to get your best out of him, no matter what the situation is. He's always happy, always bright. There's nothing more you can ask out of him.
Is there something out of watching Emeka and lifting with Emeka that you're like, okay, there's something I need to change in my game to kind of get to that level, or is it just kind of challenging you, like, yeah, I can get there one day?
Yeah, basically, it kind of challenged me. Like, he challenges me every day to be better and pick up my tempo when it comes to the weight room and stuff like that.
What do you see in, like, whether it's from Emeka or Marvin? Like, I mean, watching them on TV or watching them kind of, if you've seen him, like, catch balls from quarterbacks or whatever, like, since you've been here, I mean, what do you see from their, I guess, progression or their, ability to do what you do? Or is there something that you're like, is there something different, or is it something just a little more farther along?
I mean, the one thing about both of them, they're all about their business.
Yeah.
And they always like to make sure that they're on top of their stuff. All they do is work. And the one thing I try to do is make sure that I'm with them every single time they go do that, so I can up my game right there with them.
You've been a little bit of a smaller receiver compared to some of the other guys in your class. Is there a goal weight that you want to get to? Is there a thing that Mick has set for you already, or are you still in the early stages of that?
They set me at 180, but I feel like I could break 185 before season starts.
Is that eating everything you see, or is that
That's
good,
just
good food?
Eating everything I see. I don't really got no specific diet. I just kind of eat anything that I can.
But they want you to put a little bit of weight on?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot made about the brotherhood. You haven't been here that long, but have you been able to, see that and what people are talking about from the outside?
For sure. I mean, that's the one reason why I came here. It's like a family. Everyone's all in. And if you're not all in, then what's the point?